Okay, we are good to go. Welcome, everybody. It's Tea Time Transits. So we are going to go over the transits for the next 2 weeks, basically from today to about March 5th. And we'll cover all the ins and the outs and the challenges and how to navigate it all, and take some questions at the end here. So about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes is about what we usually do for anybody who's new to the party. So take it away, my cohorts in arms here.
Yay! Well, okay, so of course we all know the elephant in the room of today, which is the new moon. It's going to happen really just after midnight EST. So it's going to happen tomorrow for me, but today for most of y'all who are a little to my left. And new moon conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. So do we have a chart for that we can show people?
Can show people stuff, but I just wanted to say welcome. Thank you all for joining us so much. I know you guys know who Julie is and Maria is, of course, but I'm Danny, Oregon Corner. Today has been an amazingly bizarre day. I hope you guys are having weird days too, because that way we can all kind of feel it together. When I think of the sun in Aquarius, I get little chills on my neck. And then when I think about Saturn, I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. So, so that's how I feel right now. So we can share this transit graph. Hold on. Instead of clicking that, I clicked that. There we go. I got a new job for this Tea Time Transits, you guys. I'm actually doing the sharing, so bear with me.
Danny's the best. Can
you see this? Can y'all see it? Okay, good.
I see it.
So here we are right here today. And if you guys want, put a thumbs up. Let us know if you want to see the actual chart for this particular day, if that would be helpful to you, because I have that ready to go as well. Does everyone want to see it? Yes. Okay. Everyone's nodding. Let's see. Let me go to here. So this is February 18th.
Yeah, I said full moon because I'm an idiot, but try, the new moon in Aquarius, new moon plus Saturn.
This one right here?
Yeah, that one right there.
See why we're a team?
We got this. We got this. All right.
Together.
Danny makes up for my shortcomings.
All right. Yeah, and you have to talk slow to doctors sometimes. We're just like, all right. Got it.
That.
All right, so here it is the sun. Sun and moon, right here, right on the edge of Aquarius. There's a lot of other things here too, but I love all of this going on in Pisces. I think that's kind of fun and interesting energy. And I'm just really tired of looking at Mars over here. I don't know if you guys are feeling that too. Like just get moving, please.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where all kind of the big things are all kind of hanging out here in Aries and Pisces.
Pisces is going to be the constellation to watch after today, right? Because from now on, it gets to kind of be all about what's happening in Pisces.
Yeah.
For right now, there's Aquarius heavy energy, and it's sun in Aquarius is woo-woo enough. Add Saturn to that, and it can either be a wet blanket or a real catalyst for change, right? Like, okay, I know what I need to do, and I know what I need to get rid of in order to move myself forward. I think that can be the beautiful benefit of Saturn in Aquarius. And you add yeah?
No, I was just going to say, I'm going to jump in just with a quick comment too. And for those who may not be aware, who may be fairly new to looking at charts more in detail, notice that these are from the location where Maria is, because she drafted the charts for us today. So the houses will shift and change relevant to your location. If this doesn't make sense to you and you're looking at your own chart with the new moon and you're not understanding why the houses are different, that's why. And then Maria also includes a number of the asteroids, but those are some of the extra symbols. So just letting you know. As you were, my friend.
Yeah, Maria might include too much in her daily charts, but if you guys have questions as you go along, signal us. Smoke signals, scream, go off mute, put a thumbs up, just whatever it takes.
Yeah, and if you know what house this falls in for you, just chime in and say, hey, like I have the same conjunction, but it's in this constellation in this house. We can kind of talk about how that might look for you
Yeah.
specifically, if you want to ask that question.
Yeah, for sure. But okay.
So more on the new moon.
Yeah, Julie says chat is good for questions too, and we can see it on the share screen. So anyway, yeah. With moon and sun, right with Saturn in Aquarius, again, I think there's going to be a lot of knowing what you need to do and what needs to be gotten rid of in order to move yourself forward toward your best vision of your future. Because that's Aquarius, right? Aquarius wants to be progressive and forward thinking and a little bit weird. So like, what is holding your little weirdo back? Well, you're probably going to be hit with that right now. And what is your little weirdo yearning for? You're probably going to be hit with that a lot right now too. The ancient ruler of the sign of Aquarius, right? And we all know what sign rulers are, right? That they're the planets that sort of encapsulate the energy of the constellations or impart their energy onto the constellations when they're there. So Aquarius from ancient times always had the flavor of Saturn in it, because Saturn has been the ancient ruler of the sign of Aquarius. Nowadays, it also has Uranus, which when I say weirdo, that's the first thing people think of, right? is Uncle Uranus. But don't forget that there's a side to Saturn that is also progressive, that also wants you to move things forward. It doesn't necessarily need you to be static all the time. It wants you to move from one rock to the other as you're crossing the stream, right? So keep that in mind. Uranus just wants you to cross the damn stream already. Saturn is going to make sure you have rocks to step on as you get there. Does that make sense? Cool.
Can you see my annotations?
Yep.
I love it.
Inner weirdo.
I just thought we'd bring a little Isaac into this, Gary.
We love you.
Yes, when you watch this on the replay, just know that.
Cheers to Ike. We drink it up.
I wanted to add one thing, but of course I'm typing and talking and doing all of that. It's interesting because that Saturn moving, and Saturn's been hanging out in Capricorn for 900 gazillion years, as far as I'm
right.
And that's actually his home stars of Capricorn. And he really just kept telling us, you got to pay attention to what's going on in the world. You got to pay attention to what's going on in the world and start building these structures. And what do you think about the rules and the regulations and the this, that, and the other thing, as far as what we see out in our social structures, right? And he's really forced us to do that for the last 2 years. And let's just think about what's going on in the last 2 years. I don't even want to put that out there. But now that he's moved into the stars of Aquarius, it's like, okay, what do you want to take with you from what you've learned, and start setting those seeds down to where your true authentic self can now be seen out in the world. And it might be some changes. It might be shedding that skin that you carried along for eon in a day, and now you think, you know what, the real me can start being seen out in the world, and I'm good with it. Or screw the rest of you who don't like it.
Yeah.
So,
and if you're not feeling that right now, that's okay, because this is the beginning of like a 2-year thing.
yes.
So
Yes.
the energies are dying down from its Capricorn transit, and the Aquarian vibes are building up. So if there's some transitionary kind of yucky feeling in there too, it's okay.
Because it is a transition. Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Danny, what kind of energies were you picking up when you were doing the Aquarius, like, tune in? Have you gotten to Aquarius yet? Am I the
yes, actually, yes. I haven't recorded it yet, but I have written it up. And it is basically like innovation, it's aspirations, it's your it's finding your collective soul tribe. In the life path journey, we go clockwise, and Pisces is where I sort of consider the spiritual awaken or the dark night of the soul. And once you complete the Piscean energy, your next step is to find your soul tribe, communicate the lessons that you learned when you went within. And so that's sort of the energy of Aquarius for me, along with Uranus and the 11th house.
And once we've created those new structures that Saturn asked us to do in Capricorn, like you were saying, Danny and Maria too, it's time to bring it forward to the community. Now it's time to connect with the people who want to see those structures come to fruition with you.
That's a good point too, because
Yeah.
if you've been feeling sort of that urge to, okay, it's time to get out now. It's time to get out there into the world, to put something out there, to get yourself out there. Maybe if you've been feeling more social in general. Maybe you've just been feeling like, okay, I simply need to get out of the house more, even, and it is spring also. So those feelings are sort of natural at this time of year. Also, when Sun enters Aquarius, right? We want to get out more in every sense of the word, especially if you live somewhere that has winter. Big time.
Well, and the other thing about Capricorn and Saturn, don't forget too, it's not just building up the structures and looking at all the rules and all of the authority and all of that. It's also your responsibility and discipline. So Saturn's been hanging out there saying, "Are you sure you want to do that? Are you taking the time to make sure you do that in a responsible way? You can't abandon your responsibilities. Take care of your responsibilities." Very just rigid in some ways. And now it's like, take that forward and expand out with other people to share those responsibilities with you too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, depending on which house it is for you in particular, like for me personally, it's in the 5th house. It's time for me to take my creativity out into the world now that I've maybe re-identified some structures behind it. So, I don't know, Danny and Maria, what house is it in for you?
Aquarius is in my 10th house.
Yeah.
Aquarius is in my 11th.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I have pretty much traditional house associations. Yeah. Aquarius is all in my 11th house. So Danny, you're going to be finding new ways to, what do you think? Move forward with how you prosper in the world.
Yes, I mean, I have very high aspirations for the projects that I want to get involved in, and big dreams for how I can change the world. So I'm gonna just go for it, see what happens. It's a lot of fun. I love meeting all these beautiful people that are sharing their stories and connecting with people in a new way. Let's see, Jen said Aquarius is in her 9th and 10th house. Wayward Soul has it in the 8th house. Woo, 8th house.
Yes.
Oh boy.
I like your inner weirdo.
And it's been hidden for far too long.
And 9th and 10th house. I'm getting, what sign is it in, Jen, in your 9th and 10th house? Aquarius. Oh my God, sorry.
That's okay. There's a little static on the channel, that
Aquarius is in the side of Aquarius. That's good. Yeah. In your 9th and 10th house, I'm getting, is it more 9th or 10th? Because I'm getting like expressive.
More 9th.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting
It's
like,
about 2/3 9th, 1/3 10th.
okay. Yeah, I get expressive with that for you. Like it colors how you express your view of the world. Maybe not express yourself, but how you view the world. And yeah, it's interesting. Do you have planets there?
Yes, I've got Saturn. This is my Saturn return year.
Oh, good luck, my friend. Good luck.
And asteroid Lilith as well in my 9th.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Okay, there's a lot of changes for you, but you have to crack that ground in order for that repressed Lilith energy to come on out, don't you?
Yeah, my midheaven's in there too. Now, what does that mean?
Julie?
It's the you that the world sees. And what I'm getting on that is it's the what you put out in the world. Maria and I just had an interesting conversation about midheaven and ascending, and I'm ascribing to that now in my readings.
Thank you.
So it's the what you put out into the world, and your ascending is how you do it. And the interesting thing I'm getting too for you, Jen, is the ninth house is also belief systems, truth, your soul purpose. And so you've had this opportunity to kind of work through that in a new structured way. Like, what do I believe now? What is my spiritual belief system? Am I having a crisis of faith in that broad sense of the word? And now that you've worked through that, and it's not done and over by any means, like Danny said, we just ingressed into Aquarius. Now it's time to be comfortable with putting that out into the world in a way where you're like, this is me. I don't care what you believe. This is what I believe. I don't care.
I'm damaged. Take it or leave it. Yeah.
Exactly. And again, midheaven isn't, just work and career and all that. Again, it's what the world sees of you in the broadest sense of community. How you are right here with our group, for example, how you are with people that you interact with on a regular basis in a big picture sense, So that's how I see that piece of it as well. So I'm going to take a moment, and then, because we have several answers here and I want to make sure we get to everybody. So, and then we can always circle back and add on to that. So
Yeah, Jesse De Silva, Aquarius in 5th and 6th house.
Yeah.
So that's your area of play, creativity. 6th is your service, integrity, animals, that kind of thing. I don't know if we're talking about animals here on this channel, but so I would say how you express yourself in service with this new energy. That's kind of the sort of the takeaway I get with that.
And feel free to chime in with your own personal comments on what we're saying. If you're good with that, just do a wave and we're good with that too.
Yeah. No, I hear that. It's interesting to me because where I'm all like just coming into the whole astrology thing, because of just where I'm at in life, coming through my own spiritual kind of regenesis. So, and I'm also just, so I'm at a place in life where I've kind of finally kind of reformed my beliefs at the same time that I'm actually coming out of, I'm healthy again. I've been had very poor health. So yeah, so I'm just kind of, trying to get back at it anyways. So for me, I'm just trying to figure out how to, integrate now this astrology into, what I'm going to do.
6th house also has a lot to do with your health, with your personal state of health, your physical being. So that's starting to get lit. This whole thing is probably still happening in your 5th house, yeah, because it's at the beginning of Aquarius. We'll have to wait a little bit until the sun gets into your 6th house. Okay, but still, I bet that's part of the reason why now that sign is lit up. That health, everything that it touches, is going to get affected too. So this is kind of an exciting time for you. I think that you could have some breakthroughs in your own personal well-being by the end of this transit.
Well, I hope so. From when I started out, not even really saying totally what was wrong with me, but on the road to recovery somewhat, I said that at the end of all this, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life. And I'm still on my way there, and I'm healthier now than I was when I said that. And I'm going to figure it out and get there. So
fantastic. That's so great.
I want to layer in something actually funny and interesting that actually aligns with the Aquarius Capricorn thing. Because Jesse's alignments are quite similar to mine. Like I said, that Saturn return was in my 5th house. So actually Aquarius kind of breaches into my 6th. And when I saw Jesse on a masterclass not too long ago, then like the next day he was in the same group that I'm in for my wellness coaching work. And I was like, wait a minute, how is he in both of my worlds? I just make the connection immediately. So here we are in a health supportive paradigm with our wellness coaching, solution focused kind of therapeutic work, and blending astrology into that and looking at a way to take it out into the community that's unique and different. And we connected in our two communities. So I found that really like, wow.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. To me, the whole thing was definitely just lots of spiritual energy going on there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Uh,
I love you guys. Thank you so much for, we got a couple more people. I know we teased about the 8th house, but
I want
let's
to talk about that. Yeah.
let's do Billy's 3rd and 4th house, and then we'll talk about
Seventh.
Stephanie's 8th house, because I heard Stephanie the other night in the Ophiuchus class, and she's got some wild energy. Y'all need to like listen to this woman talk. I love it. I love it. It's beautiful. So 3rd and 4th house Aquarius is kind of where it is right now in this chart, and I feel like this is the most tender part of the chart. This is where you go when you're in like your private bathroom and your spouse isn't even allowed in there, like who you are in that space. And so a lot of times when you have your sun and your moon down there, they say you're actually a good channeler. Like it's very easy for you to just sort of go to that place and channel the cosmic wisdom or whatever, your Akashic record. So all of this is kind of at exactly the new moon will be affecting those with the 3rd and 4th house. So it's that waning of the structural energy and the building up of the Aquarian energy. And so you probably want to be by yourself for a little while this weekend. It's kind of what I feel on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you.
Yeah.
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 Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. All right, Maria, give us some 8th house. Don't hold back. Don't hold back.
I love me some 8th house. So girl has got Aquarius in the 8th house, and I bet you just live there, right? It's just like your inner weirdo likes the weird. Just bring it. Just bring the weirder, the better. And I imagine you have some wonderful insights into that. Do you have any planets in there with it?
No, actually. So it's actually, I looked at my chart. It's in the 7th and 8th house, but mostly in the 8th house.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly have planets in the 9th house, believe it or not, and in the 5th house as well.
Mm-hmm.
And especially 11th house. But yeah, no, like I would say that it's been only like 3 years that I'm finally letting my inner weirdo out, whereas before it was extremely repressed, and like I was just constantly walking around with like this, like layers and layers of masks, like years and layers of masks. So this isn't like the first time in my life where I'm like, okay, let's fucking go. You don't like it, I don't care. Like,
right. Right. Yeah, as that Saturn has been transiting your 7th and 8th house. Yeah, you're getting rid of that stuff that was a protective layer, but now you don't need it anymore. Nice.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
And I'm sorry about the birds and the dogs, but the way that when we were talking about sort of the clockwise, counterclockwise, the 5th and the 8th house together for you the other night, that really struck me. Like I could see how that, because you have Ophiuchus in your 5th house, right?
I have Saturn and Uranus in Ophiuchus 5th house.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is also hitting her 8th house. This new sort of freaky inner weirdo energy on top of the Ophiuchus and Saturn energy. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is like an interesting new, because I've always been like, my ascendant is Cancer, so I'm very connected to the moon. It's weird. I don't even need to know like what the phase is in. Like my dreams and my body and everything just tells me everything. And like this new moon is like an exciting one, because it, like you girls were explaining earlier, that desire, that need for like, now that I feel like I'm ready and I'm like, okay, this is me, let's go. And I've like, I've let Saturn like teach me those lessons over these past 3 years, especially, where I've like peeled and I'm like, okay, let's go, more rooted. Now it's like, I'm like, okay, where's my collective? Where's my tribe? Let's go. Like, I'm ready. Like,
That's great.
We're right here. Here we
Yeah,
are.
exactly.
Right. You found us. Yes.
Well, and I want to layer on one more thing with this new moon that actually supports that in a beautiful way. And I made a note that today, or on that same day, we have Mercury, who's in Capricorn, sextiling Chiron in Pisces. And what I jotted down was creative possibilities for the new communication structures, healing the soul. Also learning about empathic boundaries, building a way of teaching healing arts to others.
Nice.
So this is, I think, again, a way to find your tribe, perhaps in that construct, so that you've got this beautiful supportive energy to do that. So again, this is Mercury in Capricorn, and Chiron in Pisces sextiling. So sextiles are like an opening for the energies to come together. They're dancing around in the same room. They may or may not dance together, but they have a flow that's not repelling. It's a flow that's enticing and, you know, just kind of like doing that wink saying, hey, I'm over here. You want to come play? You know.
That's interesting. It's I honestly, I definitely feel that, because also, like I said earlier, I have my midheaven. Well, I don't know if I said it, but I have my midheaven, I have Jupiter, and I have my North Node all in Pisces. So
Okay.
like I also kind of feel like all of that is like
For
really
sure. So what we were talking about with the midheaven earlier, what Julie mentioned was that there's an ancient, and I think it was the Persians used to talk about being born under the sign of something. That is to say, whatever was in the midheaven at the time you were born was actually more important or more indicative of the outward personality than the sun. Because the sun could be, you know, underneath the earth at that point when you were born. If you were born at night, you know, the sun's not in the sky.
Right.
So what was actually in the sky right overhead at the time you were born has a very big influence. And so if you've got, you know, you've got a heavy Ophiuchus, you've got a heavy Pisces, you've got a really interesting 8th house. Yeah, I can see why. I can see why you're definitely attracted to, like, people who are shallow need not apply. Ain't got time for that, right? You have to have a tribe that has depth and interesting, and especially if they're innovative. If somebody has weird ass ideas, these are the people for you, right? Because you're probably with Aquarius in your 8th house, you probably have a way of figuring out how to make the weird reality.
Yeah,
That's
Kind of
probably something that's a real talent for you.
I've definitely got a weird, I can make weird things. I can make anything out of anything. It's weird. I like
That is weird.
today with my sister. She's like, you can take garbage and turn it into, like, you know, something or ideas. So yeah, I can totally
Yes,
resonate with that.
exactly. So rock on, sister. Your inner weirdo is rising. It's probably a beautiful.
I love your energy, Stephanie. You keep being you. I would love for Julie to talk, because she's the Mercury maven, to talk about this Mercury stuff that's happening in the middle of this week. People need to be ready for this Mercury stuff.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, I'm looking at the other elephant in the room, which is that Mercury squaring Uranus. So, you know, squares get a bad rap. They can be challenging energies. They can be difficult energies. They can be you think you're going along in a straight line or just flowing along in your little kayak on the Pisces River or wherever your kayak happens to float, and all of a sudden a windstorm blows up and hello square. But because I come from a world of looking at things from a solution orientation, I tend to say, all right, here comes the square. The windstorm is here. I cannot make the windstorm go away. It's coming. So how do I put the covers on my windows, and how do I look at the wind in a way that it's going to maybe blow out what's ugly and yucky and we don't want anymore, and bring in the new sunshine and the, you know, whatever. It's so the idea is take that challenge and embrace it. Well, how can I work with it? And so we've got, Mercury in Capricorn, you know, that's all about your communication structures, i.e., what are we on right now? The internet. And you've got Uranus. What does Uranus do? He rules the internet and publications and broadcasting and cyberspace and all that. So we could potentially have some little things going on with how those two come together. So keep an eye on, you know, cybersecurity. Make sure you know, don't go out and do anything stupid not being behind firewalls. And I'm not saying you're stupid, just don't let stupid things happen to you. You know, and if you're going to go get real innovative in that world, just be aware that you've got some challenges coming. Hell, the windstorm could blow out your internet, literally, for the day. So it's just a matter of understanding that could be a challenge, but that doesn't mean you have to fight it. Just be ready for it. Just go, all right, if that windstorm blows it out, have I backed up my files? You know, have I done the things I need to do in order to be ready for that potential square?
Oh, it disappears.
And the other thing is, it also depends on which house it's in. You know, like in this particular transit chart, it's in the 7th house. And as far as Mercury goes, and Uranus is hanging out up there, he's right in the 10th house. And so, that's all about being out in the world with others too. So 7th house is relationships, interactions with others, balance, harmony, justice, law. So we could see some things going on out in the world with that. I mean, so there's some possibilities there. But again, you don't have to fight it. Just take it in, see what comes, be ready, and maybe take a look and see what houses these houses are for you in your chart. So yeah, and then we've got Chiron having a conversation there too. And then Mars having his conversation as well. So wait, Mars isn't aspecting in this particular chart, is he? I don't see it in the aspect grid.
It is a couple of days before, but I just kind of wanted to get these three
Got it.
sort
Got
of
it.
in a visual.
Well, and the interesting thing about Mars, taking his sweet ass time going through Taurus, I think, Taurus is an earthy sign. I think his damn feet have been stuck in the mud. But we also have Venus who rules Taurus, and she's sitting in some beautiful stars right there. And I believe Venus and Mars have a conversation, I think this month too. I can't remember when, but it's an opportunity for us to just look at that flow again. Let Venus's flow in Pisces teach us how to surrender to the things we value, surrender to the material goods that may come in our way, surrender to the way we might acquire those material goods that may be different. Mars making us want to go forward, but Taurus saying, take your time. Do you really value that? Or maybe toss out the crap that doesn't work for you anymore, So it's that, that whole quadrant of the chart right there is really, coming from the community stars of Aquarius into the flowing connection to the divine, all that is, and then into the me, and then how do I get it from me, going from Aquarius to Pisces to Aries to Taurus. So
Mercury also has to do, in his Roman sense, also has to do with business and commerce.
yes.
So that square over to individual Uranus, over there in Aries, could be a great impetus to start that business. If you have some sort of business venture or some kind of project that you want to start that could that can involve making money.
An online store.
An online store, if your business has been having trouble lately, I think we might see some of that clear out. You might also be moved to purchase things that you've been holding off on purchasing, especially lately. Mercury was having a conversation with Jupiter over the last couple of days, and Venus is coming into conjunction with Jupiter.
Right.
So there's kind of good news for business ventures and commerce and just letting sort of money start flowing again, which is great news for the economy in general.
Yep. Well, and squares are also a challenge to take some sort of action. It doesn't mean you have to make some big ass leap off a bridge, but it's going to nudge you to at least pay attention to it. And that in and of itself can be the action, is paying attention to it. You can't ignore it if it's knocking on the door. You can try, but that door is going to open in one way, shape, or form. It's a lot easier if you just open the door yourself rather than it being.
Yeah, especially with Uranus. It's like,
So can I just tell you a funny little thing's happening to me right now? Like you're talking about Mercury. So Pluto has been opposing my Mercury for like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks now. A long time.
Too long.
So I'm messing up right here. I'm going to get back to this and then we're going to see what we want to see next. Does anybody have any questions about the Mercury? Anybody have any questions about the Mercury?
And the square to Uranus?
did we just lose everybody and you're all like, what did they just say?
No, that's okay. Mercury's always not always that interesting.
Well, Mercury, Uranus
It all
having
made
these
sense.
conversations in cyber world, I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's like,
true.
it could
That's
be like,
true. I think these are all overall very good energies. It's just you got to deal with some quirks and some weird stuff which I just literally displayed for you live. So there you go.
yep.
There's some more Mercury and then a little Venus action over here. They're like conjunctions. I guess it's when she enters into Pisces next week, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that Mercury Saturn,
It's all those guys.
it's building the structures for communication. You're teaching structures. Some of us have been talking about maybe another opportunity to learn more about astrology, just tucking that out there. This is an opportunity to look at how you build structures to teach, how you build structures to communicate, how you get out into the world with the Mercurian things that you have going on. What platforms do you exchange these ideas?
Well, here it is. Here it is. Mercury, Saturn.
There, yep. There's the conjunction we've all been waiting for. And on the same day that Venus and Jupiter conjunct.
Yes, yes. Well, before I forget, speaking of interactive structures, this is a little housekeeping note, and we'll just so I don't forget at the end. Our dates in March are going to change because of some personal scheduling things we need to accommodate. So just keep your eyes open. I'll get the Zoom links out. They'll be on a Wednesday evening, twice to that next month. So just keep your eyes open, but the replays are always available. So sorry, side note, it just made me remember I needed to mention that.
So Maria, can you kind of just do like a three-way conjunction with Venus, Jupiter, and Chiron? Like just give us a feel of how that's going to play out, that threesome.
Yeah, okay, that threesome foursome there. So
yeah.
Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. And by the way, they're communicating with, aren't they? Aren't they communicating?
They are a little bit.
Yep. Conjunct Saturn. Yeah. So it probably in the larger than that chart. Yeah. Okay.
Right here. We have
Venus,
Mercury conjunct Saturn, and then this three-way right here. Yep.
Venus conjunct Jupiter. I don't care where it is. It's a party.
All right.
Like, seriously, Venus just loves love, and Jupiter wants to expand, and they're both benefic planets. And I think that what we're gonna feel an expansion of is what we value most, what we deeply, deeply value, love, esteem, all of that, all of the things that we feel deeply about are going to be brought to the fore on that Venus conjunct Jupiter day. And I think it's just going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. It would be a beautiful day to hold like a dinner party for thank you for being my friends, right? A great day for giving thanks for the stuff that is most valuable to you. And I know that might sound like, oh, but that's what the astrology says. Yet this strong sense of gratitude for what means most to you. You're going to be in touch with what is most deeply resonant to you. At the same time, we have Mercury and Saturn over there in Aquarius, right? And that's kind of the same thing. Mercury is a fairly benign planet. Saturn is not necessarily a benefic planet. In fact, he's mostly a malefic. But in this case, Saturn in Aquarius, I just don't think is problematic. I think that if anything, he's just going to be encouraging you to let go of that which doesn't serve you. And with Mercury on top of that, it's going to be in the form of conversations, right? We're going to be having talks with people about issues that have held us back. It might be a great day for therapy. Like if you're in therapy, you might have some magnificent breakthroughs that day, right? You might find yourself being able to have a conversation with somebody that you never dreamed you'd be able to have. And at the end of it, something happens because we've got Venus and Jupiter together wanting the very best for that event. So that's in a nutshell what's happening. Don't forget, we're almost to the full, well, we're not almost to the full moon, but.
Now I circled that because the moon is going to be transiting Gemini during that threesome and that conjunction right there. All of it's quick. Venus is quick, Mercury's quick, the moon is quick. So it's going to be one of those days, the 2nd of March, but a couple of days before and a couple of days after, it's going to be like, boom, you're going to feel it. And then it's going to shift. I feel like that's going to be a really quick shift right there.
Well, and to tag off to what Maria was saying, excuse me, about the therapeutic possibilities too, is, giving credence to the fact that Jupiter and Venus are in Pisces. It's bringing in that higher self, that divine message, that interconnection to all that is, that might open itself up to you in a way that is therapeutic and beneficial, and give you that kind of more of an intuitive guidance to have that conversation, or a flow in the conversation. The other thing I wanted to say about Venus and Jupiter is they're both associated with material wealth, however you define that, where, you know, Venus is more for the individual and Jupiter is the wealth you accumulate going out into the world. And if you surrender to the guidance of the stars of Pisces and the flow of how it may come and go for you, it may not be in a way you ever even imagined.
Yeah, and Mercury gives us a clue right here by the moon transiting Gemini. This is talk about your feelings. That's what this is right here on a basic level.
Yeah.
So open up before the second. That way it's a nice energy for you.
And invest in that.
Yep.
That's the Jupiter Venus, you know, investing.
You know, another thing, if you've been looking for a job, if you've been looking for employment, this might be a time when that opens up for you as well. If we've got Mercury with Saturn in Aquarius, the new
it might be different.
job, yes, the new job from what? I didn't see that come, you know, but so I think the key here, again, is staying open. And we're going to have, we've got Neptune in Pisces, who's just going to keep us open as much as she can. There's always that energy to play from. If you ever just need to feel more open, go dive into some Neptune and Pisces energy. It's all good in that pool.
You know, and you might think about, you know, the other thing that's coming to me too is with Mercury being the communicator, and with what you just said, Maria, this might be an opportunity to start making note of what dreams are coming to you, or when you're in kind of a meditative state, messages that come through, automatic or divine writing, if that's of a familiar.
There's a Gemini thing for you. Yeah, good call.
Yeah. Yeah, there may be some insights, there may be patterns that you start to, Saturn's all about patterns too. So that there may be something you see in that after, you know, like maybe like Danny said, a couple days before that March 2nd, a couple days after going into the full moon, you know, you might just kind of make note of these different things that come through in your dreams or meditative states, or just flashes of insight, and start to notice a pattern. There may be some message in that pattern for you too. So there you have it.
Cool. Can we fast forward to my favorite day upcoming, which is March 7th?
Oh, we're going beyond. Woohoo. We're
Did
doing
you
a preview
that
for the
in
next
here?
go round.
Okay. Did you put that in here, March 7th? Well, we are going to do another one on the 8th instead of the 5th, right? So
Right. Yep. So we're, I guess somehow I knew. Yeah, there it is, the very last one.
this one, March 7th.
I'm kind of digging that one too.
Check this out. We've got the full moon conjunct Lilith asteroid in Leo. Oh, hell yes. Give me some of that.
If you haven't figured out by now, our daily diva is also Lilith's ambassador.
Honestly, I know. I'm sorry. Y'all are probably
It's
bored
good.
with me and my Lilith by now.
Hey,
but-
she's been suppressed for too long, man. She needs an ambassador.
Well, and I mean, look at this, the full moon right on top of her. Love it. Thank you.
Oh, wait, I thought she was supposed to be on top. Just saying it out loud. Sorry.
Never
guys.
heard of topping from the bottom? Oh, you vanilla lady, you.
There you have it.
Sorry.
So, as we
Okay.
were.
Yes. So moon is still in Aquarius. Sun is still in Aquarius. Moon will be in Leo, which just always feels good, don't you think?
Mhm.
Moon in Leo is nearly universally loved by everybody. Those few days when moon is in Leo are just like, yeah.
Well, and we have the uniqueness, the eccentricity, the spontaneous freedom of the stars of Aquarius all being lit up by the sun, and the Leo, you know, energy is the little kid that just wants to get out there and do it all. Wants to play, wants to go try to figure out how to be in those, you know, unique stars of Aquarius. and do it in a way that just really deeply satisfies you. So I think that moon is going to be get your ass out and play with things you've never played with before.
That's exactly it. And express yourself in ways that you thought you never could, right? The Lilith right on it is going to really want us to express ourselves deeply, fully, and without fear. And with fear. And take a look over in Pisces, right? Because
Oh yeah, just caught
Jupiter
that
is
one.
your conjunct Chiron.
We still have
Mhm.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we've still got all of the Jupiter, Venus, Chiron thing happening, but Jupiter and Chiron are just about conjunct that day. So yes, talking about fearless, and in that there's going to be a deep healing, I feel, of what you have held deeply back, right? What has been deeply, deeply repressed and hidden. Jupiter is going to help you open up to that. And then this full moon with Lilith there is just going to help you bring it out and be like, no more hiding, no more keeping it down.
And with Chiron in the middle there, what I see is Jupiter expands out that opportunity to do that. And Pisces is also, the area of the stars with Chiron that you can kind of take in everybody's stuff, like take in everybody's pain and suffering and all of that. What it's reminding you is you can expand into what's going on out in the world, but you don't have to take it on. But Jupiter's expanding that Chiron healing possibility, opening you up to understanding it, and then Venus will be there to catch you in her arms as you go through the process.
Can I share?
Yeah,
Huh?
Danny.
Can I share? Because my Chiron's right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my Chiron is right there in my 11th house. It's the same picture. So, I'm doing the Chiron return thing. I know there's some people maybe in this age group on here right now. Like, what do you guys think about that? I mean, there's a lot of really crazy guided feelings in my life right now. It's almost like I can't even stop it.
I
don't
have
know.
thoughts about yours, Danny, but I want to hear what everybody else says about it.
Stephanie says, me too, it's in the 11th house as well.
Yeah. So, so yeah, I mean, it just feels like what I feel right now is that there's something in front of me that I'm about to step into. That's the sensation I get. I really want to just get there right now. Like, can I have it already? That's kind of the feeling I'm having. Yeah.
When Mars moves.
I think you're right.
But what I'm getting for you, Danny, is I think this is going to be, for the Chiron return, it's going to be a redefinition of you as a healer out in your community, and you're already building that structure.
Yes. Thank you, Saturn.
Yeah. Yeah. For 11th, 12th house, you're using more of the divine energy to do the healing work, not just the mainstream medical to do it.
I mean, Saturn really is our buddy in Aquarius. Stephanie, you got your hand up, girl.
Bring it.
So what I wanted to say, it's funny that you say that, Danny, because just the other day I was talking with another friend of mine, and we have like similar like placements in our charts. And we were just saying, I was like, it feels like something big is coming, but it's only the beginning. And that's literally what it feels like. But like career-wise or something, like there's like I can't describe it. It's just really like a feeling. Like
it's like something's about to break loose. And I'm feeling a little anxious because I'm like, am I ready for this? Is everything okay? Like, is everything in place? Because it's coming. It's coming.
It kind of, for me, it's more like, I have no idea what's coming, but I'm like excited for it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh crap, like, can I do this? Like, I don't even know what's coming, but like, am I even ready for what's coming? And like my Jupiter's return, I think it starts in April. So I'm like, let's freaking go, but I don't know. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling with that.
I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today who does cosmic human design. And she was saying that there's this sort of feeling in that community as well, that there's this, as of 2027, the world is going to look completely different, right? And that stuff is happening that we have never experienced before. And that's either going to send you into a fear reaction, or it's going to send you into an excited reaction, right? And I hope that we're in an excited reaction. All of this extended Pisces hopefully is getting us to be open, because there have been some pretty heavy hitters in Pisces for a very, very, very long time. And that I think has served to soften our insides and open our hearts to the extent that we've let it. And now Saturn in Aquarius, again, Saturn in Aquarius is our buddy here. He wants to be that stepping stone. He wants to help you put the structure in place that are going to get you into that next phase with security. Even though we don't know what's coming, we know that Uranus is there, and he's ring shaped, right? In the shape of a life preserver, that you can just grab, that if you grab onto him, and work with that energy in a way, you're not going to sink.
And you have to surrender. Pisces calls for us to just plain surrender. And I put a note in the chat if any of you want to chime in as to where this stellium of Jupiter Chiron Pisces or Jupiter Chiron Venus is showing up. I'd be curious to hear that. The other thing that dawned on me too, Maria, and what you were just saying, and to tag off of that is, we got to remember too, we got Mr. North Node hanging out in Aries. This is our journey. This is our collective journey to be the self with the capital S that we are meant to be, Uranus. We can't hide from this.
Right.
And we've been, I think, and even Stephanie alluded to this too, the masks, the taking off of the face that we consistently show the world that we think they want to see in us. And it's time to actually just pull all that off and put out there what is truly and authentically us, and think about the merging and the synergy of that. If we actually all did what we're attuned to be doing, we will be in tune, so
you don't know how to tell what, Jesse?
I was going to say I can pull up Jesse's. I think I still have his.
Well, where that's showing up on you mean on the 7th?
Well, where's your Pisces? What house?
In my natal chart?
Yeah.
Pisces is in my 6th over the cusp into my 7th house.
Okay, so this stellium will show up in your 6th and 7th houses.
Okay. Also health and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep. How do you form new relationships, new healing relationships with others? 7th house. Yep. See, I think the healing arts is going to really get a good bump here, a really, for the foundations that may have been laid through this Saturn Capricornian energy too. What I'm getting is this goes back to the Aquarius again, is we're getting ready to put out into the world these different ways to heal, these different ways to connect to our communities in a way that are internally healing for us, that also heals the collective. We've been in pain for a long time. So this will be a really interesting few weeks. Anyway,
so Chiron is in my 7th house in Pisces in my natal chart. So that means it's probably even more resonant for me then, right?
Yeah, you're having a Chiron return too, probably.
Yep. And it's calling you to look at how you look at so Chiron in Pisces is, again, taking on everybody's stuff, empathically, pulling in all of those energies. And like you go into someplace that has a ton of people and you just feel their pain and you don't put those energy boundaries up, and then you take it on. That, and I don't want to make any presumptions, but that may be something that plays into your own personal health too. And if you don't have a way to process and protect yourself from that, then it continues to break you down as an individual. So this might be a calling to have a new relationship with, I can be in empathy for others, but I don't have to own it. It doesn't have to be mine. It doesn't have to belong to me. And I can surrender to the process in a way that's uniquely mine. So it's like we need to support Chiron.
But how many Chiron in return? Yeah, Chiron return.
Yeah.
Hi, my name
Chiron
is Maria.
support group.
Chiron
And you know what
return.
follows right after that is the Saturn return support group. So been there, done that. I'm here waiting. Just come
You're
on
the
down.
queen of that shit, honey. I'm sorry. You've had like
You really
triple
are.
Saturn return.
It's the life in the fast lane, right?
Wow.
Jen, 11th house, conjunct your natal moon in Eris. Ooh, girl. So how do you think that stellium is going to play out for you?
I don't know.
I hurt you.
I'm going to shout out to Jen right now, honey. Are you having any transits that aren't just difficult? My love.
Say that again.
Are you having any transits that aren't difficult right now? I like, poor thing. You have got some stars happening.
Yeah.
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 But, you know, the good news there is you get it over with all at once.
No,
No?
no, it doesn't, it never feels over.
Yeah, not when you're right in it.
Mm-mm.
Not when you're right in it.
Well, I mean, I guess there were times where it was a little bit lighter and all, but I don't know where it's coming from. So I don't know what to
You know, I think the magic
face.
is the 11th house, Jen. You're connecting to the people that are here to support you in this process. That's your community.
Yeah, give it to other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let them
We'll
help
take
you
it.
paddle
We'll
the
take
kayak.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I was
completely.
born with Chiron in that place. I can handle it.
So here you are, and here's your community, and
Yeah.
here we go. Again, we can share in an empathic way the journey you're taking. We don't have to own it, but we can support you in it. This is
Yeah.
another perfect example of how to use that chironic energy in a supportive, loving way. But you don't, after I'm done with the call, I'm wishing you peace, ease, and grace, but I'm not taking it as this is mine to fix or take care of or anything. It's mine to help and hold space for you, but I don't have to walk away with everybody in the group and what they're experiencing. So, and it's hard. It's hard when we are caregiving kind of people too. You want to fix it and you want to make it better, but we got to also allow space for the journey to unfold as it's meant to. So.
Yeah, I just the patience. I'm just trying to self-care the shit at myself as much as I can while I wait for clarity. I'm asking for it and I just have to slow down and wait for clarity.
I think we're all waiting. We're all waiting for something right now.
It's that Mars Taurus. I swear to God, it's that Mars Taurus.
It
I was just going to say that clarity equals Mars entering Gemini.
Yep. Yep.
That's like almost the exact word that comes. And at the same time, I think we're going to have Sun going to be in Aries by then, or
I think
pretty
so.
close. I can't remember the date he moves out of Taurus, but god dang it.
oh yeah, here.
While you're looking, then we have Billy who has it in the 5th house. So this again is find creative ways to manage that energy. Be a little bit playful with it, even when it's difficult. Maybe, coloring and drawing, if that's attracting to you. Simple songs, simple music, simple pleasures, the pleasures of a child. That would be a great way to move that energy through, or connect with children if that resonates with you. That's just what's coming through to my mind.
A romantic distraction too.
That too, absolutely.
Yeah.
Passion.
May 10th.
Dang.
Oh,
Dang.
Venus, just after Venus conjoins him one more time.
Okay.
Remember how
Just
last time we
after?
sent it, but yes, just after the Venus. Is that true? Hold on.
So if that's the case, then they would
Oh,
conjoin.
wait. I'm sorry. I blew it.
Oh, good.
That the May 10th is when Mars moves into Cancer.
Oh, so it's gonna be before that. Thank God.
Let's see here.
I think it's March something. I feel like it is.
Yeah, I do too.
I can't read my own handwriting anymore, you guys.
I can go into Prometheus real quick and see.
Well, and the thing to think about too there is, again, once he starts moving out, if indeed it
The
is March-
23rd.
Okay.
Of
Oh, that's
March.
right around the spring equinox.
The 23rd of March. Yep.
Yes.
That is right around the spring equinox. So then that's perfect. It's perfect for him to get the hell out of those stars of Taurus and allow for the rebirth of all the things we've been patiently waiting for. Not rebirth.
Yay.
I just want everybody to look at it so they can just be in a good mood.
Yes, it will happen. It will happen.
Hold on, let me make that bigger. Where'd it go? Shoot. Sorry. I'm really
Okay, you're a rock
Okay.
star.
menus everywhere. There we go. Okay, we're gonna just take a look at that. Doesn't that look nice?
Yes, look.
Look at that.
Oh,
Oh,
is
that
that a
feels
grand
good.
trine I see?
That is, yes, with the South Node, ma'am, and Saturn.
Oh, yeah.
Saturn in
A
Aquarius.
whole new world. A whole new world. A new fantastic point of view.
I
Yes.
think so.
Yes, Maria, our opera singer.
Well, and look,
Congratulations. Tell everybody what you're doing. Please tell everyone what you're doing.
yeah,
So the reason why we're having to move our little meetings from Sundays to some other day is that I've gotten back in with the Toledo Opera, and they're going to start rehearsals on Sunday. I'm saying
cyberclap.
it again.
This is a big deal. Cyberclap. There you go.
Yay.
Yeah, I like that, Billy. Doing the snap fingers.
Thank
What I
you.
was what I was also noticing, and we've got the galactic center obviously is opposite of this situation. So it is a rebirth. It is an opportunity or a birth, whereas galactic center is rebirth in some ways. So this is really that opportunity to take a look at what's going on. So when we do our update on the 22nd.
Oh, we're gonna have a Mars transit party. Yeah, we are.
Yes, yes.
I agree. I agree.
I think that'll be amazing. So we'll have to
Cool.
take a look at that. So, think ahead, look ahead and kind of pinpoint where the cusp of the Taurus Gemini constellations are in your chart and start thinking about in what houses that'll play out for you. We can, and get ready. You were still in Taurus. This is the time to lay the groundwork, Taurus, stability, step by step, He's asking you also, what do you value in yourself in this process? Mars is all about the self, and taking action. So he's getting us ready. That mud is going to turn into some nice dirt that you can actually move your feet over. So
Good
get ready.
stuff. Cool. All right. Now, let's just tell everybody where they can find our stuff. And then we'll sign off and we'll see everybody in 2 weeks and 3 days.
Cool.
Right?
Well, my stuff's easy. I write a daily blog on the Sidereal Revolution page. That's me.
And you have a Patreon.
Yes, I was going to say, and don't forget a little tip in her cup so that she can keep her tea or her
Yes.
wine going.
That's right.
Maria,
That's
you are most
If you
definitely
want to show your love, I have a Patreon page. I'll put a link to it on tomorrow's daily.
perfect. Perfect. And this is the other thing to remember with the dailies is this is a beautiful way to understand how to weave the story when you have the foundation of the language. So again, recognizing your gifts in that, my friend.
Of course.
Danny,
Julie,
go for it.
where's your stuff? Where's
Okay,
your
well,
stuff?
I'll go for it. So I do a variety of mind, body, and spirit wellness. Again, I'm a solution-focused wellness coach, which means I orient myself towards solutions rather than focusing on the problems. And oftentimes I do that in the stars. I would love to help people understand their journey and the way that they are meant to play out their role in this world in a way that is soul aligned. And then I also do Reiki stuff too, and I do it by distance, but I'm at yourbesthopeswc.com. There's all sorts of astrology services there. And yeah, hit me up. I'd love to chat with you all. If you have questions, please feel free. And make sure you tag us. If you have follow-up questions, tag us in the Facebook page or once we post it. Thank you, Maria. Once we post it on our YouTube channels, that's another way to do it. Just make sure so that we see your comments. I don't want it to go by where we think we're not paying attention. So, and our lovely cosmic creatrix.
Yeah, so we are in week 7 of the Life Path series, the 13 sign Life Path series. So go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, hit notify, look at all the old videos, catch up, because Ophiuchus is the last one. It's going to happen right around Easter week. The Ophiuchus information is all going to drop right before Easter week. I didn't plan it that way. It just kind of happened that way. So I hope you guys can check it out. And of course, I'm always posting on Facebook, so you can be my friend too.
What is the name of your YouTube channel, my dear?
Oregon Corner with Danny.
All right.
All right.
And you have your website in the YouTube channel too, correct?
Yes, OregonCorner.com.
Okay, fabulous, fabulous. I feel like there was something else I was going to say, and it just.
Oh, I have one more thing I want to say too. I want to plug Ike's lifetime mentorship thing, the new masterclass. It's if you guys know people that are interested, send them to his website so he can get some more people that are interested. We're trying to build this community so we can get more and more people, more and more teachers, more and more operators into the field of sidereal astrology. So I just want to give him a little plug there too. Okay.
siderealastrologist.com.
That's it.
And we're gonna put a little seed out there, Astrology 101. Just keep that in your mind. All right, my friends, again, other questions that come up, maybe pop a couple comments in the chat, how you experience this new moon coming up. You know, if you feel some real shifting in the energies, that would be great. And any last minute questions before we go to our respective tea, wine, coffee, whatever's sitting on the table there. All right, well, thank you all for holding space with us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys.
that.
Appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. All right, go ye forth and talk to the stars. All right, we'll see you
Well,
guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.